Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 4.
Good evening, everyone. Here's a look at today's top 4 at 4. We begin with breaking news as Fargo police say they're investigating the death of a 15-month-old girl after she was found unresponsive late last week. Police were called to the 2300 block of 17th Street South just after 10 Friday night for an unresponsive child. The child died 4 days later in a Fargo hospital. Police say no one is in custody. They're waiting for autopsy and toxicology results. Coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 5, hear what the young girl's family says happened to her. More breaking news this afternoon. President Trump has pardoned his first national security advisor, Michael Flynn. Back in 2017, the retired Army general pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI as part of Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. The move is the highest profile reprieve the president has granted since taking office. Police in Beltrami County are investigating a shooting that left a man dead. Officers responded to the report of a male being shot outside a home in the 1500 block of Roosevelt Road Southeast in the Ten Lakes Township. They arrived just before 10 p.m. and found a man dead. He was taken to the Midwest Medical Examiner's office for autopsy. Police say no one has been arrested and the shooting is still under investigation. A 71-year-old man will spend the next 15 years in prison after pleading guilty to multiple child sex crimes. Ernest Bollinger of Lisbon was arrested in October. He was charged with 6 counts of gross sexual imposition and 1 count of luring a minor in both Ransom and Lemoore counties. Court documents say 4 of the assault cases date back to the 80s. They also include more recent incidents where he sexually assaulted a 9-year-old boy. He'll be in his mid-80s when he's released from prison and will be on probation for the rest of his life. A Fargo homeowner is cleaning up after a fire in their backyard this afternoon. It happened in the 3000 block of 1st Street North in Fargo. A large shed in the backyard was fully engulfed. Fire crews say someone in the area tried to light a propane heater and the shed quickly went up in flames. The fire then spread to the fence and surrounding trees. Officials say there are no significant injuries. The shed is a total loss. That wraps up today's top 4 at 4. Now let's get a first look at your all-important Thanksgiving travel forecast. Nathan, how's it looking?
Thanks, Stacy. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Of course, those clouds hung on a bit longer today than I was hoping they would, but we are starting to see some of that clear sky make its way in from the west. I don't expect this clear sky to really do anything to temperatures for us for the rest of this evening, and those temperatures have stayed muted today thanks to those clouds. We're seeing upper 20s for our friends there in Roseau, Thief River Falls, 31 degrees in Grand Forks and in Fargo. We did squeak out some lower 40s in Devils Lake and in Jamestown, which were some of the warmer spots today where there was some more sunshine, and a 50 right now in Bismarck. South winds right now 15 to 20 miles per hour. They did not do too much to help our temperatures warm up though, because those clouds were in the way of that sunshine. But windiest conditions right now, Grand Forks seeing that gust of 29 miles per hour. Then our friends in Jamestown saw a gust of 23 miles per hour here within the last hour. So here's how things look if you do plan on stepping out to make preparations for your Thanksgiving. You've got those temperatures staying fairly steady in near 30 degrees. South winds also continue around 10 to 15 miles per hour for the rest of this evening. Then in Grand Forks, look at that sunshine there. You've got temperatures also staying fairly steady around 30 degrees. But of course, Stacy, still looking good for travel, but we do have the chance of some flurries for our Thanksgiving. So we'll talk about all that coming up in a couple minutes.
Thanks, Nathan. Look at that sunshine up there.
It's out there. It's there.
Beautiful. It's still somewhere, at least.
That's right.
Thanks, Nathan.
Yeah.
Well, many continue to wonder where their next meal will come from. This makes it especially hard for those impacted by the pandemic. Valley News Live has partnered with the Great Plains Food Bank to help those in need. In 2019, the Great Plains Food Bank served more than 100,000 people. So far in 2020, the food bank has seen a 45% increase in terms of families needing food. As the need grows in the community, so do the funds needed to help these individuals. They're asking for you to give in any way that you can. Any amount will make a difference. So
the need is serious, it's critical, and that's why we do what we do, and continue to expand our efforts every year, because there's a lot of people in need right now.
You can get involved by downloading our free VNL News app. Just look for the virtual food drive and click to donate. A woman is injured after running off the road in Beltrami County. 38-year-old Ananda Fissinger was driving on Highway 2 when her car left the road and struck a sign. It tore through a ditch, hit an embankment head-on, then collided with an electrical box before coming to rest in a field. She was taken to the Sanford Bemidji Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries and is expected to be okay. Police say speed looks to be a factor in a rollover near Prairie Wood Golf Course in South Fargo. They got the call just after 9 last night about a crash that took out a couple brick mailboxes. It happened on the east side of the neighborhood. Officers say it appears the car was speeding when the driver lost control and rolled. Firefighters had to work to get that driver out, but his injuries are not believed to be serious. As coronavirus surges in 40 states, the Dakotas are among the hardest hit. CBS's David Begnaud has our story from right here in Fargo.
Just yesterday, North Dakota reported 37 new COVID-related deaths. That is a new high. They have the second highest mortality rate in the world, and some of their hospitals are overwhelmed. That's why the U.S. Air Force has sent 60 nurses to help staff hospitals around the state. In South Dakota, the debate over wearing a mask continues statewide.
I think if we choose to wear it for our own protection, that's on us. But to force us to wear it, I'm against that.
Around 50% of South Dakotans say they do not wear a mask. Kelby Krabenhoff, CEO of Sanford Health, the largest health system in the Dakotas, suddenly retired last night after creating a firestorm this week by saying he wasn't going to wear his mask at work because he had recovered from the coronavirus and was immune. Now, in a statement, his own health system said they had mutually agreed to part ways and that his views didn't reflect those of the company. He also downplayed the seriousness of the pandemic to our Sioux Falls CBS affiliate, Kelloland.
It's hard for me to say we are at a crisis. That would be misleading from a clinical standpoint.
He is not a doctor, but his chief medical officer, Allison Suttle, is. I asked her, would you classify what is happening here in the Dakotas as a crisis?
I would
36 hours after she contradicted her CEO on CBS This Morning, he is gone. Dr. Suttle is also calling on South Dakota's Republican Governor, Kristi Noem, to mandate masks statewide. But the governor refuses to. North Dakota's Republican Governor, Doug Burgum, did that 2 weeks ago. As of right now, the Dakotas, both north and south, lead the world on a per capita basis when it comes to the number of people dying from coronavirus every day. That is a fact. It's not an opinion. That is what's happening here in the northern part of the United States. David Begnaud, CBS News, Fargo.
COVID cases in North Dakota have dropped slightly since tougher restrictions went into effect, but health experts are bracing for an incoming spike throughout this holiday season. Coming up, it's a first for the world. A country is making feminine products free. We'll have details and much more next on Valley News Live at 4.
And some great news for our friends out toward the west. 14 degrees warmer at this hour than it was yesterday in Jamestown. 18 degrees warmer this hour for our friends in Devil's Lake. Fairly stable in Fargo and in Grand Forks. But of course, we'll get you through that Thanksgiving forecast next.